I'm Pat Hasey. Have you ever attended a taping of a television show? I think it can be pretty boring, as there's a lot of sitting around and waiting for things to happen, dead air during commercial breaks, and so on. I've been at TV show tapings, and as an audience member found it very boring, except of course for the parts that were televised. When you webcast and have a hybrid meeting, there aren't sponsor commercials and promo spots every 10 minutes, but there are breaks when your face-to-face attendees are probably going to another session or for a cup of coffee. You must consider the virtual audience, whether they're sitting at their desk or are in a conference room with a dozen others, or possibly a meeting room with 25 to 100 colleagues. How do you handle their needs during a 10-minute changeover or that half-hour networking break? This can be a challenge. The outcomes can be the same as your face-to-face meeting, but the path to get there may be somewhat different. One solution is to utilize an offstage host to either interview a speaker, a sponsor, or a participant during the face-to-face break time, or showing a discussion with a speaker or a sponsor and answering questions from the Twitter feed. That would be a great time to facilitate some of the gamification that you'll use to engage your virtual audience as well as your face-to-face audience. The face-to-face audience can see the entire stage setup, whereas the virtual audience may see only a head and shoulders of the speaker, depending upon your camera setup, of course. Think of it like iMag. Some of that depends upon your budget and preference. The virtual audience could see more if there's a budget for 2 to 4 cameras. This would be similar to watching a talk show on broadcast television. However, if the budget doesn't allow for that, your well-chosen webcasting production and management company will have a video director who knows how to make a 2-camera shoot work well and be visually interesting. Having a company with a background in both sides of meetings, the live event production as well as the webcasting element, is important to assure that you have a successful hybrid meeting. Finding that right company for your hybrid meeting will also mean that you can rely on them to assist you with planning the regional or local pods, so the pods are engaging and effective. Using your own meeting planning skills and collaborating with your webcasting production folks is essential. Once you've selected the company, sit down with them to discuss your vision, goals, and objectives. Give them time to strategize, as they could have some answers that can give you more value than you'd expected. Work with them as a strategic partner, and you'll be amazed at the results. The program for both the face-to-face audience, the virtual attendees, and pods must be well planned, as the elements to enable interactivity are so important. Nothing should be left to chance. Now, I mentioned gamification a moment ago. This can be achieved in several ways. Find out what will work best for your attendees through methods like advanced surveys or crowdsourcing. For the event or meeting itself, you can take advantage of smartphone apps and social media techniques through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Foursquare. This interactivity can be used for the face-to-face audience as well prior to the event. Then continue during the actual meeting. For attendees both on-site and virtual to be engaged and feel that they're truly part of the whole can enhance learning and buy-in to whatever the program may be. Admittedly, tech-savvy and younger audiences will do this very easily. Some others may need a little help, but the payoff for you and your stakeholders will be worth it. Clearly, there does seem to be a lot to this. However, the end can result in having extended the reach of your meeting, increasing its impact, and even reducing your carbon footprint. And best of all, you'll attain better ROI. You'll find that although there definitely is a cost to do this, it comes out to be very cost-effective when it comes to your hybrid attendees. You'll have extended your reach for very little per person and have developed a loyalty from attendees when they see the outstanding content that your company or association has presented. I'm a believer in the hybrid meeting concept after observing what's happened in many areas of the meetings industry and the economy. Hybrid meetings simply make sense, and I know you can make them work for you.